Good morning. I'm Kevin Martin. I'm a member of the National Center for Public Policy Research, Project 21. I'm also a business owner and a writer. I will give a definitive flip to what some of my colleagues have been saying. A lot of your illegal immigrants are not Hispanic. They're not picking fruit. They are not poor immigrant workers. Most of them are people who've come to this country on student and worker visas, who've overstayed those visas. The government knows where they are, who they are, but it's much easier. Like I've always said, if you want to spell, another word for laziness is government. They estimate now, this is their estimation, 11 to 12 million illegals. I've worked in the government, I'm ex-military. And I can tell you when the government says 11, they really mean 22, 25, 27. And so we saw this yesterday. Politico pretty much answered our question yesterday. They said this is a bond for Democrats. Both parties fundamentally believe, and they've both forgotten how to govern. All we get is pre-issued speeches and teleprompter speeches, and we're supposed to clap and drool like seals once it's all over with. But in reality, what both parties are looking for is a political edge. You have this quote-unquote bipartisan gang of 8, but not one of them includes anyone from our community, how it's going to devastate our community. We saw a legal immigrant and his brother conduct one of the worst terrorist bombings in Boston. Okay, and you know what the government said? Well, we did a background check, universal background check. Russia warned us, and he still somehow just managed to slip through the system. He went back to Russia for 6 months because someone in the government misspelled his name. So you're telling me that if they couldn't do this for 2 brothers, all of a sudden they're going to come out, 20 million people are going to come out of the shadows, as they say, and the government is going to make them, give them a pathway to citizenship, and nothing's going to happen. Now, on the flip side of that, I talked about illegal student visas and working visas. We're saying that this is devastating our community. The young people of today, African unemployment for people between 18 and 24, high school and college grads basically, is 52%. The last 4 years, the African-American community and minorities in general have borne the brunt of these failed policies. African-American unemployment at one point reached quote-unquote 17% by government numbers, but we're talking about 25% in reality. That's why we're standing here opposed, Democrats, Republicans. I'm an independent, standing here and opposing this comprehensive immigration reform. We know it will devastate our communities. We remember what happened after the last amnesty, and they told us that'll be the first and last one. Now what, 30 years later, we're back to the same thing because it's easier to get cheaper labor because A, you can pay them under the table. I know this as a business owner. I've seen my fellow businessmen do it. It's easier if they cause problems to get them deported, if the government takes that step. But 9 times out of 10, they just move to another state and basically move on. So I would like to conclude my comments with that statement. Thank you very much.